was about to say, I think they have a height requirement and a size requirement and a being a half giant requirement, right? I don't know how you're still standing there. That'd have been a black gnome, gone, vanished, vamoosed. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Legend of Vox Machina. We're now on to season 2, episode 9, which is called A Test of Pride. So in the last episode, we finally got our hands on a vestige, second vestige. This is after a very interesting time in the Fae realm with, oh goodness, who was there? Keyleth, Vex, Vax, and Percy. They've been trying to navigate it. They've had this impish person following them around, kind of mocking them, very pervy. Anyway, we end up having a situation where we get the backstory on the twins and their family and kind of why they are the way that they are. And anyways, it ended with Vex finally managing to defeat this, what do you even call it, spirit that lived within the Fae realm that was cursed and that had the bow. But thanks to her inner resolve, she was able to not only defeat that beast, but get this bow, which of course was made for her, and her own bow broke, so she needed a new one anyways. So now she's, both the twins actually are both the holders of a vestige. And unfortunately, there was a third vestige, which was the sword, but they lost that, and one of the dragons now has that. So unfortunately, that didn't work out, but hey, 2 is better than 1, right? Right? So anyways, we are now done with the Fae realm for the most part. They need to get back to Tel Dorai, and that is where Pike Scanlan, and Grog are. Grog is still trying to get use of his arms back after breaking his deal with the cursed sword. And apparently he had a interesting pill that he had to take, but they're saying that it's not enough for him just to do the pill. He actually has to know where the source of his strength comes from and be able to tap into that so that his strength will come through. And this has been a theme with Grog since episode 2. So clearly this is something that he needs to work through. And I'm not sure, maybe we'll get it in this episode, but either way, we need our team to get back together so we can continue on this hunt for vestiges. And we also know that the next vestige is in a place where Grog's uncle is, and that Grog's uncle actually owns one of these vestiges. And from the sounds of things, it's not going to be easy to get this away from him. So the plot continues, as they say. So let's jump into the episode. I'm ready to do that. Just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be updated as to when I drop these videos or anything else that you're watching of mine, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And please continue to show that love with those likes and comments. I appreciate it so much. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. I don't like rustling in the corn. It's never a good thing. Wow. Wow. Why? Why? I fail to understand this. Run! Run now! Wow, why? There's no reason for this. So these are Grog's relatives? I'm not trying to be judgy, just questioning. Oh, that's cute. You need more than that.
You do the herd proud.
So this is young Grog.
Grog Strongjaw.
Oh, look at little teen Grog, but I don't like that he's smiling about this. But like I said, I'm not gonna judge him. He's young and clearly has the worst influence ever. No wonder he doesn't know where his strength comes from. He's been tainted from his youth.
Mythcarver showed me the city overrun by half-giants like Grog. Well, normal Grog.
Oh.
Well, looks like those guys moved on. We should get back to Will and...
Right, he's like, I don't want to revisit my past right now, guys.
Then get out of my sight and hope your luck turns round.
Thank you.
Are they really going to let him go?
Bowl the past with shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Time to talk, Grog.
Who's
Yeah, let's just get it out.
Me and Kevdak, we got
History?
bad blood.
Exactly how many herd members we talking here?
I don't know, no one really kept a list.
We gotta fight through a bunch of regular-sized Grogs, then somehow rip them off Jumbo Grog's arms.
Easy. You got this.
I'm not sure I want the herd seeing me like this, right?
Oh, wow.
maybe
Really?
we should
This is
just
not the
wait
time
our
for your
friends
pride, but I get it.
You can still hold an axe, can't you?
Wouldn't count on it.
I mean, he just started to be able to move them of his own volition. Let's take it one day at a time.
Would you be impressed if I single-handedly infiltrated Western and retrieved said vestige?
Well, it would be the bravest thing I've ever
You better
seen.
work him. That's right. You think you know how to flirt, sir? Oh, that's new. I didn't realize you could shapeshift. I mean, without a potion. New information.
You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to, but it might make you feel better.
I think you need to. You need to talk, bro. Let it out.
Violence was all that mattered to us. I took anything I wanted without a second thought. Until the day I met him.
Oh, so there was a conscience in there the whole time.
Spare me! I have a family!
They all had families, but if this would have took,
Grandpa Wilhan?
yep, I might have destroyed his village and all of your other friends and family. Sorry.
Someone needs to stand up to my father and take this herd back.
What did I say with Scanlan and the timing of his damn spells? We need to work on this. Get your ass in there.
Are you one of them?
How would I be?
I'm about 4 feet too short to be
I was
one
about
of
to say, I
them.
think they have a height requirement and a size requirement and a being a half giant requirement.
How long?
A week, maybe 2. We've been waiting for an opening to escape, but how'd you wind up in this hell?
We might have sought it out.
Name's Scanlan.
As in, Scanlan Short Halt?
Oh dear. Is this a good thing that she knows you? Former lover? Baby daddy? I don't know.
He's just an old fella.
Hey, don't let my father catch you getting soft with these bugs.
Bugs. Okay. Interesting. Looks like the cousin might have actually had some room for some softness too, but if that's your dad, ugh. Keep running!
Thank you, big boy.
Big boy.
Stronger!
Run, little man! Did you tell your daddy?
You
Oh,
would betray my son.
loser.
Bring me that gnome's head, or I will take yours. No.
Good boy. Right? I don't know how you're still standing there. That'd have been a black gnome. Gone. Vanished. Vamoosed. Damn, he got punched by a gauntlet? That's gotta hurt.
You have no spine, like your father before you.
Oh, is that what you think? Talk about my daddy again. Talk about him again. Oh yeah, try fighting you without the gauntlets. Yeah, if you all can't look, that should tell you something. He's not right.
The arrogance.
Oh,
You'll never be half the warrior I am.
I don't want to be, sir.
You are hereby banished from the herd of storms.
Thankful. Thank you so much. Best thing you could have ever done. Oh, geez. How long was he there? Don't you dare. It's not your time.
Try to heal him.
Light, please.
So that's Pike's mom?
Thank you for saving my
Oh, no, it's
grandfather.
Pike. Why is her hair brown?
Come on, big boy. Let's get you someplace warm.
I think he was actually digging the snow.
That we killed. Sometimes for no reason.
Sounds like most times, actually.
You're not like that anymore. You're different.
I think you always were. And it takes strength to stand up to bullies.
But that don't matter to the little folk I let die.
I mean, you're atoning right now, buddy. You're atoning right now. These dragons are a real problem. They're like herpes. They just won't go away.
Actually, Kaylee here is part of my band.
Of course, they're bards.
And the dragon?
Is working with them. You need to get us out of here immediately.
How?
One thing I learned in this life, no one comes back to save you.
Not true of his group. Oh,
What are
jeez.
you prepared to do?
I'm prepared to run. I'm really good at that. Oh, Ripley. Also like herpes.
Of course, everything pales compared to the might of a vestige.
I swear, I know that voice.
You do.
But we'll find the gold for your precious conclave, even if it means expanding our efforts.
The Hope Devourer does not give you Western for free.
The Hope Devourer? That's a title you want?
If you do not bring me Thordan's gold, I take your arms as payment.
Feels like a fair trade. Only because I don't like this man. He hurt Grog, so he's forfeit.
Hold your tongue. This alliance affords us a city to rule.
To rule? This is rule?
We should be hunting these dragons, teaching them to fear us.
Well,
Instead, your weakness has us groveling like... I tire of your whining.
I said the cousin and Grog are actually more similar than they think, but... time. You know he's got those things. They're not the brightest in this place, huh?
Any of you lot agree with my son?
No, we're just wusses. No, sir.
Come on.
What, are you nuts? Look at me, I'm all shriveled up. I don't even have Craven Edge anymore.
You don't need Craven Edge. You never did.
Your armor's not exactly the quietest, and he'll spot me a mile away.
That's true. They're gonna think he's one of them, though.
This gnome turd stole from Kevdak.
Oh yeah, the beard. They may not recognize him because of the beard, now that I think about it. It's like, oh, they all look the same to me.
Hey, what's with calling me a turd?
Oh, sorry. That was like, acting.
You were in it.
Let's find Scanlan before I pass out from hanging upside down. No.
Oh,
God.
I'm not worried about you, you cock. From
Damn.
what I've heard, it figures you'd run.
I mean, it is kind of your thing. But that's okay. We're growing.
Stay close.
Very close. Make sure your baby doesn't cry, too. Interesting. So I didn't realize that Scanlan's power worked with any instrument. I thought it had to be like his actual lute, but I guess that's just his preferred instrument.
we have been worried sick.
Hey, that bear hug actually hurt.
Aw.
Nice, buddy. Oh. Happy to see me, huh?
Just this once.
This murderous half-giant is actually on our side.
Wonderful. Suppose you couldn't have found a beefier one?
Wow, really, ma'am? We're gonna get picky?
Follow Grog, okay? Once he gets you through the gates, make for the tree line.
Come on.
I mean, it's not your fault. Y'all do look very similar.
I'm not going.
Huh?
What do you
We
mean?
ain't got time for this.
And that's not gonna change unless someone takes down the herd. Unless I take down Kevdak.
Sir, while I love the heart, how about the execution? How are we gonna do that?
If I leave, I'm as weak as he always said I was. No, hitting hard and being big don't make you strong.
Oh?
It's standing up for the little folk.
Okay. You better find your reason why, sir.
I need you.
But he needs to rescue himself first, though, Pike.
He tells me there are some among you who would return to the wilds.
Oh, you little...
If anyone here thinks they are fit to lead better than I, step forward.
I want to fight you without the gauntlets, though. Anyone willing to fight without the... No?
Kevdak!
Still alive. Still here. A little skinny, but I'm good.
Remember me.
I do. He's like, I thought you died. That was a great entrance, Grog, I gotta say. Very, very good. Compelling, dramatic, all the things we need. All right, that was a really good, very good episode. We get a little bit more into Grog's background, something that I was hoping to see when we got little flashes of him feeling a bit worried about going to Westrun and hearing about this pack of this gang that was hanging out in Westrun. And it's good to kind of know the history because, again, I'm someone, I love story. I like to know what makes a character. And when you have a large cast like this one, you don't always get a chance to touch on everyone. And I've said before, like season 1 of this show was very heavily Percy focused, which is fine because I like Percy, but still a lot of other characters, a lot of other story to talk about. So with Grog here, we see that he had a not so great upbringing. We don't know what happened to his parents. It sounds like his dad is no longer around, maybe because of his uncle. We're not sure, but he was raised, it looks like, effectively by his uncle. And his uncle has got a very twisted and warped sense of strength and what makes someone strong. And I think we've seen this in the real world, right? People who think that being big and strong is, and being able to hurt or put fear into the weak is the way to be strong. And that's bullies, right? Bullies do that. And the truth of bullies is that they're actually very weak people. People who have to go to smaller people and instill fear in them and do things to try to hurt them or scare them. It's because they're very scared and insecure people inside. And so unfortunately, this is what Grog was raised in during his formative years. And of course he'd want to fit in. I mean, if he doesn't have his own parents, which again, I don't know what happened to them, then you're going to cling to what family you have left. Everyone wants to belong, right? Everyone wants to feel like they have a place. And if that's where he thought his place was, and that's what the stipulations of remaining in that place were, that he had to be strong by the standards that his uncle set out, he did things that he intrinsically knew wasn't right. But that smile that, I kind of commented on in the beginning of the episode, I know that that was more because he was getting his uncle's approval, not necessarily because he was doing something that he thought was right. And so anyway, we see that at some point, Grog, the real Grog, his conscience kicked in and said, this isn't okay. Like, there's no reason for this. They're not attacking us. These are small people. These are weak people compared to us. Why are we doing this? And then we see that the person that helped to turn him around was, in fact, what did he call him? Willem, who is Pike's grandfather. That he saw that picture of him and Pike, and it just hit something in him. Like, this is a real person with a real family, and like, this is what I've been doing. And he probably was feeling this before, but just something about that moment was the turning point, and just the kindness that was shown to him, like the fact that Grog showed that kindness to him. And then when he challenged his uncle and his cousin by extension as well, his uncle, we see, just did what bullies do, beat him because he's got these unholy vestiges that are giving him unnatural power. He does this thing, beats Grog within an inch of his life, and basically leaves him to die. But we see that because of that kindness that he performed before, it came back and paid forward, and that Grandpa came back and got Pike to heal him, and they took him in and helped him to just become a much better person, the person he wants to be versus who his uncle was trying to make him. So I really like seeing that that's kind of what forged that relationship between him and Pike. I was wondering what brought them so close together and made them so close, and this definitely makes it a lot clearer. And now we see that coming back now and seeing these people, it's bringing up a lot for Grog. Like, it's not going to be just a matter of just the trauma of almost dying at the hands of his uncle. Like, that's going to bring back a lot for him, but just also that life and the shame that came with it. As he said, I'm ashamed. I come back here. It reminds me of a part of my life I'm not happy about, a part of his life that he's kind of been able to ignore and kind of run from since leaving them. But now he's coming face to face with that. And I really like that Pike told him that, hey, that's the past. We can't dwell on it. Like, we all do the best we can with what we know at the time. And at that time, you thought you were doing what you had to do, but you learned to do better, and you are doing better, and that's all you can do. But I get it. It's not easy to deal with those feelings when they come back again. And so I really like that he got that off his chest, and now there's like no secrets as far as what with him and Pike as far as his past. I think that really makes him feel better that that skeleton's out of the closet. But we see that there is still a problem here, because the only way they're going to get those gauntlets is to get them off his uncle, and his uncle is not even giving them up to a dragon yet. To stand up to a dragon to keep those things, obviously it's pretty important to his uncle to hold on to them. So they know that it's not going to be an easy feat to get these vestiges, but I think it's safe to say that those vestiges are made for Grog. He needs to get them some way, somehow. But we see this episode shows us that Ripley she is in tight with these dragons, maybe in particular this dragon. But yeah, I don't like it. The fact that she's riding on this guy's back is not good for anyone, because she's definitely got her own nefarious purposes. But anyhow, we see that they're trying to continue tithing the dragons to basically buy their own lives for as long as possible. But there's nothing left in Westeron, right? There's only so much money, so much gold. There can be no more. No one can even make any more because they're too busy dying and living in fear. And so now we see that the crew of the rest of the herd is realizing that this deal is stupid and it's just a time bomb till they're all killed anyways. So they're like, we should either be trying to defend ourselves and get this dragon out of our hair, or get out of here. Like, why are we still here? But we see that the uncle, his pride, his fear, his arrogance won't allow him to do that. So there's room. The dissension's already forming. They just don't have anyone who's strong enough to stand up to him. And we see that his son tried. And that's why I said early in the episode that I think that Grog and his cousin are actually very similar. And I feel like they could still be friends after all of this, potentially. But with those gauntlets, unfortunately, the son is just no match for his dad. So we see that the dad said, the only way you're going to take this herd away from me or change direction is if someone's willing to challenge me. And of course, they all know that they cannot defeat him with these vestiges on. So we see that my man Grog, though, said, I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to stand up. I'm not going to run away this time. I'm actually going to stand up to him and do what's right. And of course, right now, we see that he is not back to full strength. Like, he just got the use of his arms back. He's not strong yet. But I like that we go back to the reference from episode 2 around like what actually gives strength. And Grog has said, he admitted in this episode that all the things that he thought made him strong, or that he thought made people strong before this, like size, the actual physical strength you had, having Craven Edge, like all these things that were all external things, even the gauntlets that his uncle wears, that's really what he thinks is strength. Those aren't true. All those things that the rhetoric his uncle was giving him, saying that we rule through strength, but is it true strength? Is it strength to overpower the weak? Is it? And so that's what Grog's recognizing. And so we see him tell Pike at the end that I can't leave. Like, true strength is standing up for what you believe in, standing up for the weak, standing up for people who can't stand up for themselves. That's what I think true strength is. And that's what I have to do. I got to go and help these people. And that means standing up to this this man, even if it means it might be the last thing that he does. So, because really, even if we know it's not going to happen, at least I hope it's not going to happen, we know that Grog's not going to die a martyr. But even if that's what happened, that type of inspiration is what helps to spark revolutions, right? When people see people stand up to a force that seems insurmountable because they believe in something, that's what lights the fire. And yeah, sure, his uncle can probably take out quite a few people, but he can't take everybody. He can't even take the dragon. The dragon's toying with him right now. So anyways, we ended the episode with Grog finally standing up and just standing there looking like a boss saying, listen, I'm still here and I'm really interested in seeing how this fight's gonna turn out. Because yes, I do think that Grog's gonna get his ass beat to a degree, but he needs to dig deep. And I think this is gonna finally be the thing that will help him examine that question that was asked of him back in episode 2 and finally answer it in a truthful way. And yeah, be stronger than ever. That's what I'm predicting. So, but yeah, that was pretty much the episode. I liked it a lot. Like I said, good to get some backstory on Grog and that relationship that he's got with Pike. We had a little bit, of course, of Scanlan in there, but I feel like that was definitely not the focal point of this episode. So I won't say too much about it, but I enjoyed that as well. So good episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love and I will see you in the next one.